Hello students, grade 6 science, chapter number 9, living organism characteristics and habit. This is the last video. Suppose you all are welcome in science subjects. This is the point, that is characteristics of living organism. This is our last point. So please students, you open textbook page number 86. Our first characteristics. Do all organisms need food? Yes. Food and food, which is very essential part of the animals, birds, insects. We also learn that the plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Animals depend on the plants and other animals for their food. Plants is the only thing in the world that it is autotrophs, means plants take its own food by themselves. Remaining all the people, all the living organism, they depend on the plant. So plant is a primary source. We all are heterotrophs, means we all are depend on the plants. So food gives us organisms the energy. Food gives the organisms which get the energy needed for them to grow, and organisms also need energy for their life process and go inside them. Another one, do all organisms show growth? Yes, right? So we eat food, from that food we get nutrients, correct? So, and that nutrients which is very helpful for our growth, physically as well as mentally. Here you can see the growth from infants to adult, correct? A baby grows into an adult. You see this cycle. Now for this process we require energy from food, so living organisms can grow from infant to adult. It is also for that animals, birds, you see here the chickens, they are also starting from chickens to that adult hen, correct? Okay, so a chicken grow into an adult hen. Or next characteristics, do all the organisms respire? Yes, right? Can we live without breathing? When we inhale, the air moves from outside the inside our body. When we breathe out, the air moves from the inside to outside. Breathing is a part of our process, that is respiration, right? In respiration, breathe in, we take oxygen and moves out carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide takes the plants and releases oxygen, and that oxygen we take, right, in the atmosphere. You know this cycle. So this cycle and maintain all the human beings. Living organisms respire. Living organism, plants is also important, which help in this respiration process, because plant releases ample amount of oxygen. That's why it is said that we have to grow the plants. The process of breathing in animals like cows, buffalo, dogs, cats is similar to the humans. Observe any one of them, these animals, they are taking rest, and notice the movement of that. At moment this moves, the movement of indicates that they are breathing. So we can say respiration is necessary for all living organisms. It is through respiration that the body finally obtains the energy from the food it takes. Some animals may have different mechanism for the exchange of gases, which is a part of the respiration process, right? For example, earthworm breathe through their skin. Fish, we have learned that fish breathe through gills using oxygen. And whales, they do not take breathe through gills, but that blowholes are there in whale and that dolphins, right? So fish, we have learned that it requires gills for using oxygen dissolved in the water. The gill absorb the oxygen from the air dissolved in water. So do plants respire? Already I have talked about this. Exchange of gases in the plants many take place through the leaves. The leaves take air through the tiny pores in them and use oxygen, right? They give out the carbon dioxide to the air. Remember, during night time they breathe like us, but during the daytime they just use that carbon dioxide and provides us oxygen. Now, do all organisms respond to stimuli? Yes. Now, say here, all organism response to stimuli means it is the say, best example for that touch me not plant. Right? If you touch that leaves of that touch me not plant, it is immediately folded, and after 1 or 2 minutes, it get released. So what it indicates? So here you can say organism respond to stimuli. Plants can move, okay, plants respirate, okay, uh, plants has feeling of the music, right, nowadays, because that music touch the plants and plants grow well by listening the music. So प्लांट्स को म्यूज़िक अच्छा लगता है, राइट? आप अच्छा म्यूज़िक बजाओगे तो प्लांट्स का भी ग्रो होगा. तो ये ऑर्गेनिज्म रिस्पॉन्ड टू स्टिम्युली में आता है, राइट? Sunflower is the best example for plants respond to stimuli, right? Sunflower, because sun during the daytime, in the morning session, sun rises in the east, and you see that sunflower is just opposite to the sun. Wherever in the night time the sun comes in the west directions, so at that time, sorry, not night time, in evening time sun comes in the west direction, and opposite to that west direction sunflower is then also, that flower is also moved to the west direction, right? So plants respond to stimuli. Sunflower is the best example, is also for that. Next characteristics: living organism and excretion. All organisms need food. Not all the food that is eaten is completely used, only a part of is utilized by the body. What happened to the rest? This has to be removed from the body as a waste. So our body produces some waste and other life processes also. The process of getting rid of waste by the organism, it is known as excretion, right? So do the plants also excrete? Right, they do, but not seen in animals. The mechanism in the plants are little different. Some plants find it possible to store the waste products within their parts in a way that they do not harm the plant as well as whole. Some plants remove waste product as secretions. Means plants also releases excretion, right? Uh, it is the best example that when you see that plants in the morning, uh, you will find that that in desert area the excretion rate is that transpiration process excretion rate is very high, because temperature is in a very high condition, right? So their excretion rate is high, right? In our this area excretion rate is low, right? Another characteristics: do all organisms reproduce their own kinds? Yes, right? Birds, they lay their eggs to produce offspring, and animals, they just give birth to their own young ones, right? So you see here that it is the very most important characteristics, that is reproduction. Here you see the in pictures that birds lay eggs which after hatching to produce young ones, mother kids, right? Here you can see the young ones of cat, dog, and cow. This is also that plants reproduce their its own kinds. You can see the offspring of that plant starting from seed to adult new plant. So we can say that living things produce more of their own kinds through reproductions. It takes place in many different ways for different organisms. Now the next characteristics, that do all organisms move? Yes, organism can move from one place to another place. They move from one place to another place and show other body movements. Now what about the plants? This also you have studied that plants also move with the help of that dispersion of water, then wind, water through animals. Correct? Remember, in rainy season that seeds they just flow from one place to another place and the plants is growing, which means plants can move. Remember? Okay, some animals they eat plants, they eat fruit suppose, and that seeds in that when they excrete to some place elsewhere, then from that seed plants is grown, means plants is also move from one place to another place. Now sometimes the some of that seeds of the plants, right, they just stick to the plant's body of the animals and they releases at somewhere places, like this way they can move, plants can move. Correct? So plants also move, human beings also move. Correct? So students, this is the I think last characteristics of these living organisms, and here the chapter is over. Okay, so after this I will send you the extra videos of same chapter, and then worksheet also. You have to write down the worksheet with answers, and then I will check that worksheet. Okay, so be prepared and be prepared notes in a well manner. Till there, have a nice day and thank you.